Welcome to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping Orange County. With your host, Don Kamber.
Hello, live from the OC Talk Radio studios at UCI's Beale Applied Innovation Center. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Don Kamber with another great guest positively impacting our community. Today, I welcome Arts for All CEO and founder Bryce Hansen. He's also the manager of Danman's Music School. The Dana Point nonprofit's mission is to create positive change in our community by empowering disadvantaged youth with access to professional music instruction. Thank you, Bryce, for being on Impact OC.
Thank you so much, Don, for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity for you allowing me to spread my message and what we do over at Arts for All, Danman's Music. Thank you.
Bryce, please share with us what prompted you to start this organization at the age of 23.
So I'll go a little bit into my backstory initially. So as a kid, around 9-10 years old, middle school area, I was never the fastest or the physically strongest. In fact, I was much slower than the rest of the class, physically, of course. But, I love to play football, team sports, things like that. Yeah, and then when we're playing football, I'd always get picked last. I understood, I'm slower than everyone else. You got to be fast. You got to be able to make the plays. Yeah, so that always got me down in mile runs, and back in school, it was especially difficult for me. I would always be last, even by double the amount of time from the kid before me. So over time, the school systems, the supervisors, everyone just thought I was lazy or fat, slow. Over time, for the mile run, my teacher, Mrs. Wilson, she recommended that I see a doctor for why I'm so slow, why I'm fatiguing, why I'm in pain for the mile run. So we went to my primary care doctor. He had a suspicion I had Charcot-Marie tooth, a neurological disease. So we went and saw a specialist, Dr. Rosenfeld, for it. He diagnosed me at the age of 11, recommended I get surgery at the age of 12. After the surgery, I just remember waking up in the doctor's bed, just seeing the doctor, my mom, family looking down at me, and it was crazy. I looked down at my feet, I have 2 big blue casts on me. The doctor tells me you got to start walking effective immediately. We got to make sure your brain renders, the moving of the tendons. That was the surgery.
Can you explain what the disease is?
Yeah, Charcot-Marie tooth. So yeah, it's a neurological disease. My brain doesn't send proper signals through my spine to my arms and legs, causing a lot of fatiguing in my feet. My arches are higher up, and as I get older, they'll slowly get higher up, so it causes a lot of balance issues, slowness, and fatiguing. So yeah, that's the disease. It affects the hands a lot as well. I don't have a lot of motion in my thumbs or my fingers. I can't put them in circle. They just go up and down. Back to waking up from the surgery, I stood up off the bed and, my legs just collapsed. They completely rearranged the tendons. That was terrifying. At 12 years old, I had to reteach myself how to walk. But 6 weeks later, I just wanted to get back into football, playing sports with my friends during lunch because I was isolated for the 6 weeks. I just had to sit on the sideline while everyone else was out having fun. Yeah, so I got back out there. All my friends that picked me first, because they were like, Bryce is back, let's go. So that was super fun. I remember one of our first plays, they threw the ball to me and I got a touchdown because they left me open, the defense, and that just felt so empowering. I loved it. But, a few minutes later, the supervisor walks up to me and tells me, I can't have you play football with 2 big blue casts on at lunch. And I was insanely upset. I was like, I just want to go. I want to play, and I want to have fun. I don't want to be isolated. But she was like, no, I'm very persistent, though. So as time went on, I tried to sneak back out on the field. Eventually, she had to say, if you let Bryce play with you guys, no one gets to play. So that was the last time I stepped foot on the field. I tried to get into other hobbies and other things, got into gaming and stuff like that, but it wasn't really for me. All this, my social contact was done through the internet. When it came to team sports during gym class. I just had to walk around the track. The kids ran the mile. So I felt the school systems really isolated me, and I didn't get to experience my full potential throughout grade school. We also had music programs, but I mean, they're not well funded. It's incredibly difficult to get to hire a bunch of musical staffs for band class. So yeah, it would just be one teacher, 40 kids all sitting learning band instruments, clarinet, trumpet, etc. So yeah, I fell behind in that. I had a lot of questions, and he didn't really have the time to answer my questions, help me with that. Even though when I was playing the clarinet, it felt soothing to me. You know, I didn't know how to explain it in the time, but I just really found something in music. After band class ended, you know, I wanted to pursue music some more, so I got a guitar instructor, just a local guitar guy my mom hired. He seemed very frustrated with me due to the lack of mobility in my hands because of my disease. So it was a little bit more difficult for me, and he didn't have the attention span or the patience to deal with me, so I didn't really get a fun, friendly environment. As years went on, eventually I came across Danman's music, and cut back a little bit. My dad bought a piano for my sister. I remember waking up one day and just looking out in the living room and seeing this old, dusty, crusted piano, completely out of tune, but I had no idea back then. And that was the original start to music for me, because it was something right there. I could teach myself, I could play by myself, I didn't have anyone frustrated. I just sat there staring at the beautiful thing, pressed a few keys. Eventually I figured out which keys sound good together, which ones don't. I learned different scales just by chance, just by pressing over and over and over again, hours a day. And eventually I wanted to tone my skills a little bit, learn a little bit more about the instrument, about the theory. So I came across Danman's music. And I had this one instructor, Cy Sharp, super fun, incredible guy, very experienced, the best pianist I've ever seen in my life. And he showed me some basic scales. We had so much fun. We worked past the movement of my hands, so he helped tailor specific ways to play the piano so that I could, you know, perform and do what I do and get to the next level, while having my disability. And it was just an incredible experience. I was reading some articles about music and how it works in schools, and Gian Flores wrote an article saying that 89% of California schools do not provide media, visual, or performing/music arts in schools mandated by law. And that's such an incredibly high number. You know, eventually, as I was thinking about it, the idea clicked. It's like, hey, I want to help, you know, the kids of today, you know, experience what I found, you know, that sense of bliss. When I'm playing, there's no anxiety of the past, no worrying about the future. It's just now in the present moment. So then I decided at the age of 22, I was spitballing ideas, Arts for All, and then I officially got the 501c3 for the nonprofit October 24th, 2022, when I was 23. And then I started to partner with Danman's Music, got a job there so I can make sure each and every one of my Arts for All students gets paired with a proper instructor for them, because all musicians are different, they have different styles, you know, make sure that it's tailored properly to each and every kid.
So define who gets to be part of your program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the in-need youth, what I mean by that is kids who cannot afford music lessons on their own means, or kids with physical or mental disabilities who struggle, who need, you know, some more motivation, more fun, or kids who need programs that are more structured, kids who learn slower, kids who have attention span issues, you know. So I have 30 musicians working at Danman's Music right now, so I really like to make sure each kid gets the proper instructor at the proper time that works best for the families.
And where do these students come from?
Local schools. They could also apply on our website as well, www.artsforallnonprofit.com. Yeah, so if you're interested in possibly signing up, you just visit the website. There's a little tab at the very top, apply for free. They just ask you a few questions, names, date of birth, your situation, and then I'll reach out to you and then get you all set up.
And what are the age range?
Age range, so it's mainly we're focusing on kids at the moment. So what we usually recommend music is probably around 4 all the way up till 17. 4, we would recommend drums or piano. It's very straightforward. They're instruments right there. You don't have to learn bar or chords for guitar, ukulele, those sorts of instruments. Drums, it's super simple. It's a great, gateway into other instruments, just keeping tempo. And then eventually when you're ready to move into piano or guitar, you'll already be able to keep the same tempo. You'll have the structure, the understanding.
What instruments do you play?
Right now, I just currently play piano, a little bit of ukulele, and I'm trying to learn how to sing, but I didn't realize how bad I was at singing until I tried.
And what's the meaning of music to you?
Meaning of music? A state of relaxation, a state of just bliss, like I was saying, something where you could just completely zone out, at least performing wise. You could just completely zone out and, just live in the present moment.
Explain how some of the music helps some of the people that you serve.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So with people with disabilities in their hands, such as I do, it definitely helps with the brain-mind-muscle connection. It helps, strengthen and provide, mobility in my hands. I've noticed since I've started playing piano, things that I've struggled with, like buttoning my shirt or zippers, undoing bags, it's gotten a little bit easier. I'm able to, associate, each hand and disconnect from them and learn just basic skills. There's also a lot of mathematics involved in music. You got to be able to count timing, memory. There's endless possibilities when it comes to music.
What are the lessons?
So the lessons, they're all one-on-one private in-store with the instructor. We do have some rock camps over the summer, but we're mainly focusing on just one-on-one until the kids are ready to perform in social group environments. So they're all one-on-one with specific instructors, like I was stating before. They're 30 minutes long usually. However, we do have hours available. If a kid has the attention span for an hour, we'd love to get them in there for more. Usually we get them in once a week. If they can't make it, then we just take them off the schedule for that week and they'll carry on the following.
And the instruments, what kinds?
All instruments, all ages, kid-wise, and experiences. So aside from bagpipes, actually, if you know a bagpipe teacher out there, let me know. But piano, guitar, ukulele, drums, a lot of those instruments none of them are integrated into schools especially, and kids find a lot of fun in that. They love like rock music, pop, versus just the band, but we also do provide band instruments as well, trumpets, trombones, tuba, flute, clarinet, etc.
Give us some stories of some pairings.
So I have this one kid right now. We actually just got signed up. I'll leave names out of it, but with my teacher Bianca, I'll say her name. She's out there, but so Bianca, she's incredible. This kid has slight autism, unfortunately, and she's just a fun, friendly spirit. She's super positive and goofy. That's sort of her teaching style. So she encourages them, she rewards them. She's always bubbly, joking with the kids. She comes out, she's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And just with a big old smile on their face, and the kids are so excited. They're like, "Hey, Bianca, let's go." And that's most of the instructors. They all have their own teaching styles, but I've had some students, every now and then a teacher gets sick or they have some sort of gig somewhere and they have to be marked out. I usually find a substitute for them. And then, kids, they love consistency. They love the teachers so much. Sometimes it disappoints them when, they don't get their same teacher for the week because it just becomes so attached. It's incredible.
What are some of the partners you have?
Partners? So my aunt, the Flora May Foundation, she helped me with starting the nonprofit, all the paperwork, legal sides to everything. I have this guy, Don Durbin with Planet X. He just recently started working with me. He's helping me get connected into the more advanced side of the musical world. So we're still working there. OCCF, Orange County Community Foundation, they just awarded us with a cash grant last month. Let's see. I've done a few podcasts, digital tech media.
Where do they perform?
Oh, the kids. Yes, Stillwater Spirits and Sounds. Thank you. You're guiding me. I appreciate it. Yeah, so all the kids, we have a recital program with Stillwater Spirits and Sounds. So every few months or so, aside from the summer when we got a lot of rock camps going on, we usually have around 6 concerts per year. All the kids, they have the opportunity to perform live on stage with their instructors, family members, and friends also for them. So they just play the songs they've been learning. It creates a nice social environment, especially because it's so close to Danman's, and having the instructors up on stage with them, it gives them the confidence. But yeah, it's definitely important, to be able to perform live. It allows them to think under pressure, and break that social fear.
And they're able to do it even with their disabilities.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've had numerous kids go ahead and just get out there and just do it, and they love it. Especially I had this one kid. He was playing bass for the past year, and he did our most recent concert. Last one, I believe it was in May. And he biggest smile on his face I've ever seen. He was just jamming out there. He loved, the crowd. Everyone's clapping, giving him a round of applause, and you could definitely tell it's affecting them positively.
So they have private lessons, but then you get them together and perform together.
So the kids have the opportunity to perform together. That's usually more rare. So what they'll do is they'll pick a song with their instrument, and they'll just play that song either by themselves or with their instructor. Every now and then, if they have other friends who are also taking lessons with Arts for All or Danman's, then they'll pick like the same song with different instruments and perform them together.
Is there an instrument that stands out more for those students than others?
So for kids who are struggling, it really depends on what the disability is or what they prefer. But I mean, drums is a great instrument, for kids who are a little bit more mathematical and just need to learn, how to keep a basic rhythm. Bass is definitely easier than guitar just because it's less strings. It requires less fingers to perform certain chords. Same thing goes with ukulele. Piano, it's great for visual learners because it's just all right there, right in front of you. There's no thinking about it, no theory behind it. You press down on one key, it makes the exact same sound every single time.
What are your goals for the organization?
My goals is right now I just want to build a strong community and, get our message out there, get more kids flowing through Arts for All, Danman's. I want to help as many families of Orange County as I possibly can, but I would love at some point to grow out and outreach into other areas, other music schools so I can connect with, so we could, target different populations.
How can the public help?
You could reach out on our website. We accept donations, in-kind donations, volunteering. When we do events, we're always looking for musicians, kids, schools to partner with, funders. There's endless, things you could do. www.artsforallnonprofit.com. My email is provided on the website. Just send me an email or a call, and anyone's welcome to help out.
Share with us some more stories.
This is when it really felt real, when, I felt like I was making a change and everything. I had this family of 4, 3 of them which take lessons. The youngest one is a little bit too young. Yeah, they all suffer from mild autism, but, it's definitely apparent. And, they're very, I can't find the word, but they're an interesting family. They don't like the internet, social media, or anything like that. So a lot of activities, it's at home, fun, board games, things like that. And, the kids, they were getting bored, the mom says, and, eventually she reached out to us. We got them set up with 3 different instructors all at the same time. And all the kids agreed to learn different instruments to create their own family band. I believe 14, 9, and 8 are the kids' ages, somewhere around there. But and they've done a ton of our concerts as well. The mom of the family, she said to me, she's like, "Thank you so much for everything that you do. You've completely changed our life and empowered our family as a whole. Never-ending thanks." And they're just the sweetest family I've ever talked to in my life. And they create little family bands, and they are the ones who at the concerts perform all together.
Thank you, Arts for All CEO and founder Bryce Hansen, for being on Impact OC. Yeah. And I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Don Kamber. Have an impactful day.
You've been listening to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping our community. Right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio.